Wayne in Bronx, New York. Hey, Wayne, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, Tom?
Hey,
Good.
Wayne.
I'm glad that you took David Orris to task when he was stating about the inner city schools and all that stuff. And it's kind of funny. I'm retired military, and I live in New York City. And all of the progressive cities' school systems are doing good. New York City school system is one of the better school systems in the country.
Yeah.
And he's going by stats that is like 30 years old.
Well,
The inner
and not
city,
only that, he's basically cherry picking, basically, black cities. And when conservatives start talking about democratic failures in the inner cities, they're really talking about race and code.
yes, I don't even know what he's talking about. If he come here to New York City and you go to the Bronx, around Yankee Stadium is now called Yankee Village. The South Bronx is no longer called the South; it's called Sobro. It is being gentrified. So what is he talking about?
Yeah.
You have New York City school system that is so integrated right now; it's ridiculous. And for him to be using those code words, he sounds like a Trumpian, not like the Napoleon is, or going back in history, all those people that follow Napoleon
Yeah.
to a disaster. I'm a New Yorker. Trump is a New Yorker. Us New Yorkers, we know Donald. We know what he's all about.
Yeah.
We know it's not the inner cities if the United States is failing. It's the outer cities. It's the cities in the Midwest. That depended on the factories. That those jobs are never coming back. Why? Because of technology.
Right.
Not because of,
Detroit and Flint are falling apart not because they're majority black. They're falling apart because the industrial base that used to support them. Detroit. I lived in Detroit when it had 2.5 million people. There's 700,000 people there now. It's not about race. It's about trade. And that ironically is where, if Trump is successful in taking on his own Republican Party and taking on China and this whole neoliberal free trade consensus that has infected both political parties largely since the era of Reagan, if he's successful in taking that on, it might actually be a good thing for the United States. I just don't believe the Republicans will let him do it. And in fact, I think that they're probably, the bookies in Ireland are placing 4-to-1 odds that he gets impeached within a year. I think that's probably about right. I just don't think they're going to let him do it. They want a nice, safe, reliable Republican, a genuine con man, a guy who has a consistent story to tell, like Mike Pence, where, he can look people right in the face and say, oh, we're going to give you a tax cut and we're going to help you out, average working people, while he's basically working as hard as he can to screw average working people. I mean, that's the Republican way, to do it. Wayne, I got to move along, but thank you for the call. Excellent points.